Hello and welcome to another Go Figure Customs YouTube channel action figure review. As I mentioned on my last couple JoyToy figure reviews, I've been requested to do reviews of all the sets, at least all the sets that I have. One of the sets that I have not reviewed is the SWAT set, because I didn't have it. Well, I sort of had it. I split it with, I did buy it, and I split it with my best friend and co-host of our podcast, General Geekery. That's still, we've been doing that podcast for years and years and years. We do it once every couple of months now. It used to be once a week. But the last episode didn't get out, unfortunately, due to some software issues, which didn't capture the audio of our last show, which really pissed me off, because we did a fairly decent review of Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker, with a guest of my wife and the guest of my best friend and his daughter, who's also a huge Star Wars fan. But that's neither here nor there. I kept 2 of the figures, I gave him 3, and we called it even. And then I decided, you know what, I really like those figures. So I asked my mom for a set for Christmas, and that's what she got. So, without further ado, let's review those figures. Of course, I've already thrown away the packaging. I do that for all my figure reviews. It's the same thing as all of the other sets. Aside from the seal set. It comes in a brown box and 6 individual boxes with the tubes inside. The 6th tube being accessories. Now, the one thing about this set is you're basically getting 2 figures. You're getting 2 different figures. 4 of the figures are identical in every way, shape, and form, with the 5th figure being the one that is not. The 5th figure is labeled A, and the other 4 figures are all labeled B. There is no C or D figures or E figures in this set. Which, you know, it depends on what you're looking for. If you like the individual head sculpts, this isn't the set for you. However, for what they're going for, I think individualism is not what is needed for this set. What is needed is some uniformity, and I think they did that fairly well with this set. So, 4 main things that I review with the figures are the packaging. And every time I keep going over this, it's the same. The packaging's a wash. You're not buying these things to keep them in the package. The one thing I am going to mention about the packaging is the tubes they come in, because they come in the newer, bigger, longer tubes. So they come in a tube that looks like this, which, let's drop a figure in there real quick. You put the figure in there, and you'll fit in there as a display. It's big enough that his head's not hidden by the upper part of the stand. So you can just display it like this. Or, what's really cool about this, watch this. We're going to put him on the figure stand here. Alright, he's on his figure stand. Ooh, my hand's a little shaky. Too much coffee. If you reverse the figure stand, it... that didn't work out right. Scared the dog. If you reverse the figure stand, he stands on the stand in the display. You have another tube. You've got 6 of these tubes. Put another figure on this one, and they stack. Okay, that is fantastic. If all my G.I. Joes came in came with these things, I probably wouldn't have bought Deltoff cases to display my figures, or I would have bought Deltoff cases and displayed them even in the Deltoff cases, or I'd have just bought a card table, put a sheet on it, and displayed them in these cases. These are solid, nice, solid plexiglass. Not plexiglass, but the hard, shit, I don't remember what kind of plastic this is. I'm sure somebody will tell me what kind of ABS plastic, maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert on plastic, but these are fabulous display cases. I think it's worth it just for the cases alone to get this set. So, packaging, you know, I've been saying the packaging's a wash, but actually, in fact, once you take away the outer packaging, the inner packaging alone is worth the set. Playability, of course, that hasn't changed from any of the figure reviews that I've done since the USMC set, the first set, because straight out of the packaging, oops, sorry, getting a reflection there. This is a figure A, kind of the officer's figure. He comes with the uniform shirt. The vest does, of course, come off. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, I heat up the vests and peg them in, and then I super glue them. I've already done that with this figure, just because I don't have a need to remove the gear once it's on. I like that gear on there. It's not coming off. I will play with these, but the detachable gear is not something that is a playable feature for me. It's more of, inevitably, it's more of a hindrance, because the pegs don't tend to stay in well. That's on any vest. That's been on any G.I. Joe equipment. I've had a little bit better luck with the Marauder Task Force stuff because they use a little bit stiffer plastic. But overall, most of the time, the vests will not stay pegged on their own. And that's not a failing of anybody's part. That's just how the plastic is. It's a soft plastic. It has to be to form fit to the figure. And those pegs tend to be soft, so they don't stay pegged, so I glue them closed. Comes with the weapon that you see there. And unlike the other ones, he does come with a unique pistol, trying to get it into focus there, which looks kind of like a revolver. Kind of has a revolver look to it. And in all honesty, if I was making a Blade Runner custom, a Deckard, this is the pistol that I would use, because it's very reminiscent of that. I don't know that I've seen another pistol straight out of production that would work, that looks that nice for a Deckard custom. The other thing, he does come with both the usual thigh pads, the holster on one end and the pouch on the other, and he does come with the lower leg armor. He does not come with any shoulder or elbow pads. Of course, the head does come off. I've seen in some of the company art where they swap this head out for the head on the for one of the other figures, so he does have so you can use like the SWAT head, and it does look pretty decent. And I actually have another SWAT head, because the two figures that I got with that I kept from the first set that I bought that I split with my buddy, I used one for a custom, and I'm making a Firefly with the second figure, so I used a different head, so I actually do have a head to swap out for this guy. So we're just gonna put him right here while we look at figure B. So here's the SWAT guy. The head is nice. I like it. It's pretty much the usual bland tactical helmet with the goggles. I think the goggles could have used a little painting. Wearing a balaclava. I kind of would have liked to have seen the necks painted the same color as the balaclava, since these don't have an interchangeable head. But that's just a personal opinion. Of course, again, I glued the vests on. They are normally removable. The belt is the same one that's been coming with most of the guys. The pistol, again, sort of fits in the holster, sort of doesn't. I'm probably going to, at some point in time, going to replace all of the JoyToy pistols with whatever Marauder Task Force weapon fits nicely in there. In fact, I put that pistol in there when I heated this up to put it on there, and it's in there pretty good now. It doesn't want to come out. So thigh pad, holster on that one, no leg pads or shoulder or elbow pads on this one. And this is the only other figure that comes in this set, sculpt wise. So obviously not the only figure in the set, because here's your other guy, and here's your other guy, and here's your other guy. So you got 4 SWAT guys. And, you know, I think that's why I say the uniformity is more of an important factor than the diversity of the head sculpts on this particular set, because it's a SWAT team. You know, those guys, they're always all geared up. You can't tell one guy from another. The uniformity is really nice on this set. The cavalry set, they kind of do the same thing, because there's a lot of the same head sculpts on those figures. I don't like that set just for that reason. I don't hate that set, mind you, but I don't like that particular. I would have liked more head sculpts in that set. Let's just put it that way, and I will do a review on those. So let's demonstrate the display case one more time here. I think this is fabulous. I almost wish I didn't play with these guys, because I would buy these more of these tubes, because you can now buy 6 of these tubes at one time through Locker Toys. And how much are 6 of those tubes? Let's do the math here real quick. So 6 of those tubes will run you 138 Hong Kong dollars. What is that, you ask? Let's find out. Let's do a currency conversion. I have that app on my phone because I go all over the world and need to know currency conversion on a regular basis. 138, did I say? Is that right? 138, yeah. 138, is that right? Is 1774. Sorry, I had a previous conversion there. It didn't do the math, and I was like, 83 bucks. That's kind of steep for 6 tubes. Now, 6 tubes for just under $18 plus the shipping, whatever the shipping is going to cost you. I'm getting most all of my JoyToy stuff from Locker Toys at this point. I've been very happy with their service, their shipping. So that's who I recommend now instead of Big Bad Toy Store, because Locker Toys gets it first, and even with the overseas shipping, they will still get your figures to you before Big Bad Toy Store even has them in stock. So what's in the 6th tube, you ask? Accessories, of course. Replacement joints. Oh, hey, look at that. I didn't even look at that. I didn't even notice that. Your A figure does come with the interchangeable head. I didn't know he did that. I thought they had just swapped heads on it, but I was wrong. And one of the things that I've seen recently is the neck, the lower neck does not tend to stay in place. I like the double hinged neck. I think it's fantastic, but that lower head does not tend to stay in place on the torso very well. And what I've been doing to combat that is just a little clear nail polish. I put a big glop of that in there, let it dry for a couple minutes, push it in there, move it around, and let it dry. And it tightens right up. And that's, I don't know how much nail polish is, $3-4 at Walmart? I don't know. It's my wife's. She doesn't even notice missing yet. But there's your figure A with the SWAT head on. So, you know, it'd be like he's responding plainclothes to some situation, some hostage situation, and has to gear up there on the scene. So he doesn't have all this tactical equipment with him. So he's still got to just throw on a vest and a helmet and a balaclava before he makes entry. I like that. I like that versatility. That I like just that little bit of diversification in that line. I said these guys, the uniformity works well. Just that little bit of diversity in there makes these just that much more playable for storylines. And there's your displays like that. So the customization will be my next thing that I review. As I have said, I've done. Oh, let's finish what's in the set first. So everybody's got the team weapon here. I don't know what gun that is. It is based off a real gun. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't know what gun that is. It comes with one of the Barretts, the tripod. People have been having trouble getting the tripod on the Barrett. If you go to where the corner is, it's narrow at the corner there. That's the part you peg in first and then just slide it over. Oops, a little too far. Just kind of slowly work it in there. And there it goes. That's how you get that tripod on there, or bipod on there a lot easier. Go to the corner where it's narrow and then just slide it over. So we got that Barrett 50 cal. This is one of the guns that comes with one of the female figures. Again, I think that's based off one of the bullpups, but I'm not 100% on that. I like the gun. I haven't used it with any of my figures yet to see how well they hold it, how well it works in play. Comes with a breaching shotgun, a second one of that kind of bullpup design. One has the tactical grip and one has the grenade launcher. So you can have one guy shooting smoke grenades while you get the other guy that's got it on a pistol grip. And what else do we have in here? We have two breaching shotguns, which are really nice. I like those shotguns. And then a whole bunch of joints. You've got hip joint replacement and a whole bunch of hands. So you can do different hands with it. So you got joints for both. You got black joints for the SWAT guys, and you've got light gray joints for your officer. And that is what comes in your 6th tube. So, kind of sum it all up, packaging isn't quite a wash like it has been with the other ones, because yeah, the box isn't anything spectacular, but the tubes they come in, man, it's fantastic for just that. This is playability is the next thing I always go over. These are fabulous. I have not had any problems with the joints. I didn't heat these up. I've been playing with these for a little bit. It's fantastic out of the box. If anything, they're a little loose, especially that neck joint. I'm going to put a little bit of nail polish in the joint between the neck and the torso, just to tighten that up a little bit. This is you could buy 2 or 3 of these sets for a decent SWAT team. They come with one team weapon, so everybody's got the same gun, and then they come with individual weapons. So you got a sniper, you got a couple breachers, and you got a couple assaulters. I think you really could go with this could easily have been a 6 or 7 man set and not had any problem with 2 more of these guys just being as is. I mean, I'm almost considering getting another set of these just for that. Customization, like I've said, I've already started customizing 2 of these guys from the previous set that I bought and shared with my buddy. I'm making a video tutorial on painting, and I'm having a lot of trouble just sitting down and finishing it. It's pretty close to being done. I just need to take the time and finish it. Customizing, so customizing obviously is fantastic with these because I'm making 2. And like I said, the second custom is a Firefly. I have never made a Firefly custom that I've been happy with. and I've made a lot of Firefly customs. Same with Punisher. Never made a Punisher custom that I've been happy with. So we'll see. I don't know how that's going to turn out because I've never had a decent one. Customizing, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on. Customizing, one of the things I would actually like to see from Hot Toys, I would like to see these repainted in an olive drab tone and called an and change the logo from police to FBI. And I think this would make a fantastic HRT or hostage rescue team set. I might PM Locker Toys on Facebook because they've responded to previous PMs and suggest that and see what they do. I think that I would buy another set of these if they just repainted them green and called it a FBI team, FBI SWAT team, or FBI. FBI does have their own SWAT teams in major cities. There's one in Texas, there's one in California, there's one in Chicago, and then there's one or two on the East Coast as well, New York, and I want to say DC, but I don't think that's right. Miami, maybe. And then the hostage rescue team is based out of Quantico. But I would like to see a hostage rescue team. Just change the logo to FBI and paint these in an olive drab color scheme, and I would buy another set of these. So price point is, of course, the last thing that I review. I think this set is worth every penny, just because they're the last decent SWAT team set that came out was from BBI. Those came out, I think those came out even before I was customizing, because those were hard to find when I started buying those figures for parts, and that was about almost 15 years ago. So those figures are extremely hard to find. For the time, they were decently articulated, had a lot of decent equipment, and still are. Those figures still are nice figures, but they do not hold a candle to these. So if you wanted a SWAT team, you had to customize one. These are perfect straight out of the box for a SWAT team. You know, one set, I would probably go with two, honestly. At this point, I'm considering getting a second one if I've got an extra little bit of money laying around in the next couple months. I'm going to buy a second Marine set to see if they've improved the joints, because that set was reissued. That was the one set I had problems with the joints, so I'm curious to see if the reissue, if they had some quality improvement on those joints, and a second SWAT team set. And I almost passed on this set to begin with, because I really don't have a need for civilian police force. But I love these guys. These are fantastic. Highly recommend this. So packaging, yeah, worth it just for the tubing. Playability, fantastic. Straight out of the box SWAT team. Everything you need for a cool SWAT team is in this box. Customizing, yeah, like I said, I would almost buy a third set of these, paint them olive drab green for a FBI hostage rescue team. And then the price point, I believe these are still... Locker Toys has this set for 530 Hong Kong dollars, which is a little cheaper than the other sets. And how much is that? $68.13, making that how much did I say that was? I'm $68. We'll go with $68. 68 by 5, making it $13.60 a figure. There is quality abundant for that price per figure. Of course, your shipping is going to add a little bit more to that. Amazon Toys has a JoyToy figure store on it as well, and that's where I bought my second SEAL team from. Didn't have any problem with there. So I would also, maybe if you're a little leery about overseas shipping, you might try and get it from Amazon. Let's look at Amazon real quick, since we've pretty much finished reviewing the figure. Let me help you get a set of these things. I think $63 is a steal for these. It is cheaper than the other sets. All right, had that app open. Amazon, come on, Amazon. Boy, I wish I'd bought it stock in Amazon a long time ago, huh? JoyToy SWAT. Oh, no, that's one figure. They do make, before I forget, they do make one standalone SWAT team figure. He has a different vest and different equipment and a different helmet. It was for the Crossfire Games series. I do not have that figure, but would recommend it. Doesn't look like Amazon has those figures in stock, which is kind of weird. Let me look here. Let me look at their store. Yeah, Amazon's got them for $99. Ooh, I'll bet that's through a third party. Yep, third party seller, 99 bucks. Screw Amazon, guys. Go with Locker Toys and save 40 bucks. What else can I tell you about these things except they're awesome for the price? You start getting these tubes for your display. The peg is, I don't know if it's proprietary. I should probably look at that sometime. Tell you what, I'll do that in another review to see if these cases are worth getting just for other figures. So I think that's about it. Still got a couple JoyToy sets to review, so stay tuned for those. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and question everything for Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more stuff.